Tools to Live By, presented by Veyer Watches.
Never
So,
stops ticking that Veyer, just like you and I. That's the thing. I feel like a Veyer watch. We give really important information about bubbly water, but then we get another request, and it's not like, oh, can't take that one, man. No, Veyer watch works 24 hours a day. Bing, bang, boom. You and I, if I need to help people all day, I have the ability.
perpetually precise, and you are also assembled in America.
Yep. All of the above.
And you're ocean ready,
Out of
made
the
out of
box.
surgical steel.
Yep.
All right. Well, Veyer is spelled VAER, VeyerWatches.com. Go get yours like ours. Ours are solar powered, which is incredible. You don't have to put a battery in, you don't have to wind it. It just 6 hours of sunlight lasts, keeps the watch going for 6 months. So, listener, tools to live by. Boys, I need some advice. I grew up in Southern California. My formative years were spent surfing every spot from Point Loma up to Salt Creek. Of course, based on the wide area I surfed, I was not a true local anywhere, but I felt like I was at least somewhat recognizable, even if I paddled Swamis one swell and LJ Reefs the next. As I write this, it's been 14 years since I frequented that surf zone. Many of those years have been spent chasing waves. I spent a decade in Santa Cruz, some time in Australia, a stint on Kauai, trips to Nicaragua, Indo, South Africa, Spain, Chile, Portugal. Lots of Portugal these days. But as of now, I am an indefinite non-surf, or I am on an indefinite non-surfing trip to a heavy spot called Purgatory in Central Europe while my wife awaits her green card. Note to other listeners, if you're an American and you marry a hot foreign babe, she does not get a free pass to the land of liberty. You'll get a no reply government email and a wait in line for years. So as I await my golden ticket to move back to the good old US of A, I can't help but wonder, what will my place in the lineup be when I return to the breaks of my youth, 15 plus years after leaving? Sure, the crowds have changed. What used to be free parking is now paid, but I'm also certain that I will know those spots as well as I did when I left years ago. Is it my duty to make nicey nice with whomever happens to be the quote regulars at the spots that I left when they were mine? I can't be the only one in this situation. Am I still a local? Hey W exclamation point. This is from Dr. Scholl.
Dr. Scholl, you came to the right place, thankfully. Because I feel you and I, David Lee Scales, are the only one who could answer this with like veracity, with real 100% truth here, which is uh your place in the lineup. So you come back from heavy spot purgatory. I'm curious which Central European, did you say Central European
You did.
country it is? It Romania? Is it Hungary? Is it, we could take a guess. I'm gonna say it is, I'm gonna go with Romania here. You got one?
Okay. Um, Slovenia.
Nice, good call. Following along Donald J. Trump in marrying a Slovenian bride. Uh, okay, but back to the question at hand. Yes, while all the things around the break have changed, the break itself has not changed. Your knowledge from back when, especially if you are an astute surfer, will all that holds, right? And so now it's a matter of how much dog is in your fight. If you want to go, you could go and reclaim more or less like top-ish tier spot again in the lineup by using that local knowledge and just going out and shredding. Problem is, if you go out and position, knowing where the wave is going to break, take off on the a wave-ish of the day because you were able to figure out and put yourself there and all this, and you fumble it, it's going to set you back some, my friend.
Yeah.
And so I would just say, in this case, we've talked about it a lot, and ability trumps almost anything.
Yeah.
Uh, ability plus that no local knowledge of okay, it's a swell swinging west or whatever, and so everybody. I mean, that's the thing I will notice in today's age, even like locals, uh, people who've been surfing a spot for a while will get wildly out of place pretty quickly. Like people get in conversation. Nobody is like, at the places I surf, at least, nobody's that dogged on keeping it that, people will drift and you'll see everybody way too far out sometimes. So you can like, okay, sweet, poach in the middle here, and then one wave will correct, like that set will come in and everybody will recorrect back to the right spot. But
Yeah, yeah.
all to say, you can go use your local knowledge, get that best wave, but you better kind of rip it, and not doesn't have to be high performance ripping, but you better have the person you're trying to impress, the local, or not even impress, the person you're trying to imprint your will upon, uh is probably an older dude. And so if you do like a big carve off the big old man carve, then you could see that guy thinking, okay, so I'm going to move over a little more and make room for my new friend here, which
Yeah.
essentially what you're going for.
All of that is true. But the one thing that you didn't really get on enough, and he probably is underestimating, is how much that hierarchy has changed in the 15 years since he's been there. Like it changed a lot in 10 years, but then in the last 5 years since COVID, it quadrupled. Like the change has been exponential in the last few years. So maybe La Jolla Reefs, there is still some sort of hierarchy, but every other spot that he mentioned between La Jolla and Salt Creek, all that's out the window. And so you definitely don't have any quote local status anymore, because even those who have been surfing there the entire time still don't have that status anymore. Um, but what Chaz is saying is accurate, which is if you have prowess, you will be able to navigate the lineup better than 90% of the other surfers, because people are just that kooky nowadays. And you can bait them into, like, if they are in a discussion or whatever, they just lose track of the placement of the lineup and you can outposition them pretty quickly and easily. So prowess does help in all of these scenarios, but there's no need to try to be a local or to enforce your authority from when you 15 years ago when you were there. What that is all out the window. Show up planning to just outsmart and outsurf everybody, and you'll absolutely still get waves.
And also, I will say, if having the local status means something to you, if you want to say I'm a local at this place, uh, by all means, have at it. Because you have a tech bro who went work from home during COVID, who now claims, oh yeah, I've been surfing this place for 3 years. I'm a local. Like who
Yeah,
fully feels that. And so the claiming of local now is so wildly, I think, just anywhere that you could say, man, I surfed this place 15 years ago, a lot. I'm a local.
right.
Haven't surfed it in
Yeah.
15 years, but guess who's a local? This guy.
Feels like, I mean, the local conversation we've had over and over in different from different perspectives, it seems like an insane conversation to even have for me at this point. Like, and I guess I probably said that too, is I don't care about self-identifying as a local. You know what I mean? Like, I know there's certain spots in the world. Um, like I was in Central Coast earlier this week and talking to people about surfing around there. And that is very like, look, you live in this area, it's a small
That's your
town,
wave.
you claim it, you own it, like that. I get that thing. That's not the case for so much of the populated surf world. So it's not relevant to me.
I mean, I think specifically, it's not really the case for Southern California, to be honest. Like, because yes,
Gold Coast, Southern California, populated surf
yeah, go
destinations.
like real populated surf destinations. Yeah, exactly. Like, I think because, you're Santa Cruz, I'm an east side guy, I surf east waves on the east side, this is my wave, whatever. Like, that is part of your life. You're never leaving. Your kid is going to grow up surfing there, doing that, right? This is like a generational, this is you and your thing, where you have now elevated localism to be a thing that you care about deeply in your life, right? I think Southern California, again, so transient, so many blow-ins and Gold Coast or whatever. Like it's just, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Things there becomes a point where it's just based on numbers, population. There becomes a point in population where it's just not feasible to maintain that mentality anymore. But it's very applicable before you hit that point in the population because it actually works. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
keeps order.
Like it does keep order.